Our ABC 13 virtual job fair. We just passed a 2-year mark. Last week, yes. And so we are still here offering you these jobs. And I want to let you know that even if you aren't looking for a job, but maybe you have some questions about getting some resume assistance or maybe an Earn While You Learn program, maybe you're looking for some educational opportunities like getting your GED or other programs, we are here to help. So we call it a job fair, but it is so much more than that. And we've been partnering with Workforce Solutions over these past 2 years. It's been incredible. Got to tell some great stories. Matter of fact, just met a gentleman, Rolando, up with Apache and put together a story yesterday that's going to run in May. And he went from being unemployed, he went from a high school dropout to seeing this, reaching out to Workforce Solutions. He got his GED, he now has a job, and he is about to buy his first home at age 21. So it's pretty incredible how this event can change your life. And it's all thanks to the team at Workforce Solutions who makes it happen. So as Rolando said, you just have to take that first step, and we are here to help you do that. All right, Michelle, after that great introduction, let me bring you in. And I hope I sold you guys pretty well. How are you doing today?
I'm doing so well. And after that, how can I not be in an absolutely fabulous mood? It has been an amazing 2 years. When you think back, April of 2020 is when we were at the peak of the pandemic. Houston had 14.2% unemployment. It was scary. It was just so frightening for so many people because all of a sudden one day you had a job, you knew what was coming up, you're providing for your family, providing for your kids, and then all of a sudden nothing, and then no idea of what was going to happen next, both with your health and with your job, and how are you going to provide for families. And so it's been an incredible journey that we've had at Workforce Solutions with you and with ABC 13 to give people hope and give people inspiration that there are opportunities available, that times are tough, but people are really strong and can rebound, and people figure things out. And our job is just to give the good information so that people can do what they're capable of, because they're so strong, they're so resourceful, and so it's been amazing. It's just been absolutely amazing to be part of people's career journeys. And so here we are 2 years later, and unemployment is back down to 4.4%. And for many economists, they call that full employment, meaning that there's more open jobs right now than there are unemployed people. But nonetheless, the pandemic is still at work and affecting the economy as a whole. The biggest concern right now is with inflation. We still have what people are calling the supply chain disruptions. But the fact of the matter is that for the first time in a century, we've had this virus that impacted the entire world. And so we're going to feel the effects of this in one way or another. And so, it's a really great time to for us to take a pause and to determine how we can really best serve the Houston community. And really, if anybody is ready and willing and to commit to making yourself more marketable for these higher paying jobs that are coming right here, right now, Workforce Solutions is here to help. Again, the ABC 13 hotline, powered by Workforce Solutions, open Monday through Friday from 9 until 5. 713-243-6663. No matter where you are in that career journey, we have the resources to get you to the next step to reach that ultimate goal. So happy to be here, and we really do appreciate you, Nick.
And Michelle and her team are really standing by, and there's a number right there. Please, I did a story last week that ran where we got to introduce you to the team behind the scenes, so a shout out to them. And there's some incredible individuals there working the phones, and a lot of them are where you may be right now. Lost their job during the pandemic. Florine was homeless, who works the call center and helps us out as well. So there are legit people, I've met them, and they're great individuals that are just there to help. They are passionate about what they do. You see Michelle, who is phenomenal in every sense of the word, but the entire team over there is Stacy, Kay, everyone is incredible. So please reach out if you have a question. Terry working the social media, which we'll get to here in a second. So please reach out if you want to get some assistance. All right, Michelle, let's talk about the job numbers, because I know you just mentioned how we're getting back to full employment and everything, and the numbers today still show that the economy is pretty much buzzing right along.
Exactly. So in the week ending April the 23rd, initial claims for first-time unemployment were 180,000, meaning 180,000 people across the United States filed an unemployment claim. That's a decrease of 5,000 from the previous week. And the 4-week moving average is steady as she goes, right there, just under 180,000. And even in the continuing claims, we're looking at 1.4 million people who are out of work for more than 2 consecutive weeks. They're continuing to need the unemployment assistance. Here in Texas, that keeps going down and down as well. And so we're really looking at only 12,000 people who filed new claims. All of this is to say that people are not losing their jobs at very high rates. All of this is part of the natural turnover, right? Because when we think about the economy, there's always startups and businesses that are closing. And so this number is about the natural course for businesses opening and closing and adjusting to the consumer demand. And so this is all a very natural level, if it is the best way to describe it. So we're in really good shape. Here's the challenge, is that there is still a greater number of jobs than there are people to fill them. So the job market, it remains in flux. Employers are trying to figure out what it is that they have to do to keep their businesses running in terms of remaining profitable, so they don't become one of those businesses that closes. And they still need to be able to attract and retain employers. So we are seeing things like higher salaries, different kinds of benefits, different incentives. And so it's a great time to be able to take advantage of that, because one of the best ways to get a higher income is to move on to a better job. And so a couple of things in that before we go into the jobs is that, yes, you can move just across the street for $1 more an hour in that hourly wage. But if you really want to make the big increases, that is traditionally going to come when you get more education and more skills. And at the end of the day, that's where Workforce Solutions can really help you out, because we understand where the jobs are today, and because of all the data that we have, where they're going to be tomorrow, and we can help you identify what's going to be most profitable to you in the jumps that you're trying to make. So again, Workforce Solutions is so glad to be able to give you the information about the jobs today, but also the jobs of tomorrow.
And that's a really good point, because I think, you had mentioned about taking that right job, but, even if a lot of people took a job during the pandemic because a lot of options came about, and maybe now you've been working, but you want to pursue that dream that you've had, or, you want to do it. Now is the time. There are a lot of schools that have COVID-19 relief money. There's a lot of scholarships available. And Michelle and her team and I are looking at ways to kind of hone in on certain careers and paths that you can take. And truly, if you were like, you know what, I want to get into HVAC, or I wanted to get into aerospace, or something like that, this is a place where you can start that process. You can call that number on the screen, 713-243-6663, and the Workforce Solutions team can truly put you in the right path, can point you in the right direction, no matter what area of town you live in. And say even if you have a job, or someone that has a job but they wanted to try something else, now is a really good time to do that. All right, Michelle, let's gosh, I've learned so much from you in these past 2 years. So I feel like sometimes I steal your thunder, but because you've educated me so much, which is incredible, that I've filled myself with all this knowledge and able to pass it on to people. Like, I love when I talk to people and I go, have you ever heard of an apprenticeship? It's an earn while you learn. You know, instead of student loans, you actually get paid to learn a craft. I didn't know any of that until, you know, we started to work together, and so I get to educate people on those types of programs. And they don't believe me that it's true, but these programs really do exist. They really do. So the team at Workforce Solutions can help steer you in the right direction if you want to call. All right, let's talk about the jobs though today, because we've got some. So let's go ahead and we'll give a shout out to Terry early on, and then we'll direct people. So hopefully Terry gets a lot of applicants today. Please make sure you reach out to Terry. Terry wants you to reach out.
Terry likes to stay busy. She likes to be able to have this opportunity to connect with people, because again, she's down in the Texas City office. We're all spread out all over the place, and she loves to be the opportunity to connect with people. So if you are interested in any of the jobs that we have today, and we have quite a few, we have 3 employers, 5 job postings, and that makes up for a total of 95 job openings. And there's a couple of different ways that you can connect with us. If you're on social media, head on over to facebook.com/advancemycareer. That is the Workforce Solutions Facebook page. Once you get there, you're going to click the jobs tab. There's going to be several different job openings that we are recruiting for. In any of those, when you find one that you're interested in, click the apply now button, and that's where Terry will come in. She's going to make sure that we have all of your contact information so that we can set you up with the Workforce Solutions recruiter who's recruiting for on behalf of that employer. If you meet all the qualifications, our recruiter is going to set you up with an interview with that employer as early as next week. If for any reason you are not qualified for that position, that's okay, because we are going to work with you to find a position in which you are qualified and meets all of the qualifications that you want out of your next job. So again, that's on social media, facebook.com/advancemycareer. Click on the jobs tab. If you are on the web, head on over to wrksolutions.com/jobs now. And then over on the right-hand side, you will see the as seen on ABC 13 column. These are the jobs that we are actively recruiting for today. These employers want to fill these positions relatively quickly. They understand that when we go on ABC 13, that we get a good number of responses, and they're able to fill these positions quickly. So that's the kind of jobs that these employers have. And once you see these, all you have to do is click on, it'll take you to the complete job description at mytxcareer.com. You can apply there, or you can give us, send us an email at jobs@wrksolutions.com, or give us a call, 713-243-6663. And I'm going to run through these jobs pretty quickly because it's now 10:21 and I want to be mindful of our time.
Sure, go ahead, Michelle.
So a reminder that the Houston Astros Event Security, this is again a third-party company, Andy Frame Services, they are looking for event security guards. It's the Astros games and then other things that are happening at Minute Maid Park. These are part-time jobs. They do have some full-time openings as well. Positions pay between $14 and $16 an hour, possibly more for the supervisory positions. Again, you do need to have a security certification, the Texas licensure, but this company will help you get that. So if you are interested in a part-time job, and again, being in a great environment because it's the Minute Maid Park, get in touch with us and we will connect you with Andy Frame Services. The cooling tower technician out in Deer Park. These are some friends that were with us last week in Pearland, and they have quite a few openings that they need to fill. So they are actively recruiting for these positions. And again, it's a cooling tower technician. So you need to be prepared to be working outside. You will be working outside. You need to be able to climb to heights. So you can't be afraid of heights. And again, these positions pay pretty well. They pay $18 to $20 an hour. And there is some good opportunity for advancement once you get into and gain this experience. So again, $18 to $20 an hour. It's an outside job. You will be working in the elements, and you do have to be able to work at heights in a safe environment. So that is the cooling tower technician in the Deer Park area.
A question about
And
that
then,
one real quick, Michelle.
yes,
Because
yes.
I know sometimes we go through this and people see this. So if there are any certifications that are necessary or toolbox with lock or anything like that, is that something where you all, if people were to call, that you all could help them with that certification, maybe even help them get a toolbox and tools and everything?
Absolutely. That is a wonderful question. I'm so glad you stopped me, because that's one of the things that we don't often talk about, because it's not the main focus of what we do, but it is part of what we do. And that means that no matter where you are on your career journey, we are going to support you in that. So if it is that toolbox or those steel-toed safety boots that's keeping you from accepting that job offer, we have the connection with those employers. They're going to tell us this is exactly what you need, and we're going to make arrangements to make sure that you have that, whether it's a scholarship from us or from one of our partners. We never want that that one-time expense or that limitation to keep you from going to work, because there are resources available. Again, we have so many community partners that can help us make this happen. We have relationships with Red Wing Boots and Home Depot and Lowe's and all of those places. So we know how to be able to get those resources that you need, because sometimes, those steel-toed boots, for example, can be $100, $200, and you have to have them to go onto a construction site. So as long as you have that job offer, and we can have a conversation with your employer that says, as long as you have this, trust me, we are going to figure out how to make sure that you have what you need so that you can start earning that paycheck.
Okay, I'm sorry, Michelle. Go ahead and let's continue. Let's continue on. I thought that was just a good question, a good point. Thank you for answering.
Oh, it's wonderful. And again, when it comes to things like the licensures too, I also have to remind people that it's pretty common that when we have an economic downturn, that people let their licenses expire. And so that's another thing that we can help you with, because two things that you'll probably have to do. You'll probably have to do some preparation courses, and you're probably going to have to pay for the certification exam again. And if, again, that's what's holding you back from getting that new job, we're going to figure out a way to help you get past that, because again, it's you are far more valuable to the economy when you are able to work than when that one thing is holding you back. So switching gears again, Napa, this is the auto parts store. They have a warehouse that's in the near northwest area, almost in the Acres Home area. They need to fill some warehouse positions. Again, as you can imagine, people are keeping their cars longer, so Napa is doing really well in the auto parts sales. They have their retail associates, and they do have positions all across town for the counter associates, but that warehouse is where they really need work. They need loaders, so that as they are sending the trucks out to the store, the right materials are getting on there. And then they have warehouse workers, because parts are coming in from the various manufacturers, and they need to keep track of those, put them up where they need to be, so that they can then turn around and get them to the stores. So all of these positions are at wrksolutions.com/jobs now. They're also on our Facebook page. And again, whether it's these or any other positions, give us a call at 713-243-6693. We will get you connected with the job leads. We will coach you through whatever career journey you want to make, whether that's going to work today or planning for a long-term career tomorrow, or even trying to figure out how is it that I can keep this job, because this is what I really want to do, but I need a little bit of help in making sure that happens. We can coach you through that as well.
Okay, Michelle, I know we still have some time. I know we cut off at 10:30, but we can go a little bit longer because we started late, so that's not a problem at all. Is there anything? I know we touched upon the full employment, and so we've even noticed fewer people applying, reaching out on our end. Is there, when it gets like this, is there a lull when people aren't looking for work? Should they be looking for work? Is now the time to look for work?
So
What's your thoughts on what we're dealing with right now with the state of the economy?
So, my biggest advice when we are in a good job market is to never let your guard down. And I say that for two reasons. One, because the natural ebb and flow of the economy is that there are openings and closings, and maybe one sector comes up while another comes down. So, never let your guard down. And for a worker, that means always keeping your resume up to date and always keeping your skills up to date. So, again, it's that idea of don't ever become complacent. You can work on refining your skills. So maybe you are good at some type of graphic design. There's always an opportunity to learn more, to understand and get an idea of what is coming next. So take advantage of these opportunities to keep your skills up to date. And every time you do something, whether it's big or small, make note of it on your resume so that you have it. Because remember, you're going to have multiple versions of your resume to send out to those different employers depending on what opportunity comes up. But you always want to be ready, because when that job opening comes up, you really want to be a quick response. You want to get in because that indicates a need. That job posting indicates a need, and the longer that position stays open and unfilled, the bigger challenges that the employer has. So you want to be able to respond quickly, meaning you're always keeping your resume up to date, updating those skills, updating the accomplishments. Is it this year that you had an opportunity to do something that maybe you didn't otherwise? Maybe there was an open position and you were able to learn some new skills and do something different. Put that on your resume. So always keep that resume up to date and never stop being curious. Always think about what comes next, whether it's in your industry, whether it's in your job, or just in the big picture in terms of where could those next career or even entrepreneurial opportunities come up. Stay curious, take advantage of the online learning, take advantage of, if you're in a position to go back to school, the community colleges and all of the nonprofits have so many great opportunities. Again, 10 community colleges all across the greater Houston area. Like you said, they have plenty of scholarship opportunity right now because so many different resources have gone into helping individuals retrain. Going into the pandemic, none of us knew what it was going to look like on the other side. Was it going to be dramatically different, and were we going to need dramatically different skill sets? One of the things is certain, that basic fundamental computer literacy skills are essential. It's not just a good to have, they're absolutely essential in any job that you have today. So if you have the opportunity, polish up on those skills. And if you are in a position to go back to school, definitely check out the community colleges. They are constantly creating more effective and more efficient workforce programs so that you can get the skills that you need to get a better job in the shortest amount of time possible, and almost likely with some type of financial assistance.
Okay, Michelle, before we go, I know I think you wanted to just take a moment to talk about some of the people that we helped and those who
Yep.
made it possible, right?
Yes. So, one of the biggest things that has come out of this is the opportunity to tell these great stories, to talk about the people who found help with workforce solutions. And again, because it's not about us, it's about the people that we have helped. And so to be able to know that there were people like Kendra Isom, who, that was our Christmas Eve story. Her words were, "I knew it was going to happen. I just had no idea it was going to happen so fast." And it was a simple change in helping her focus her job search instead of the shotgun approach. We had Catherine O'Brien, who went from being homeless and not having to be able to provide for her daughter, to having a job and then starting on a career path. There was a Keen Harper who this is reentry week. So a Keen Harper was one of those people who had been in prison, and he didn't know what was going to happen next. But because of the information that he got from the Who's Hiring he was able to get a job with the furniture bank, and that pride in having that job and that being able to demonstrate that, yeah, he did his time but he's back on track, got him that start so that he doesn't have to go back to what he was doing before. Violetta Nunez, she's former military and is now a pipe fitter, and is looking forward to being to moving up the ladder and training other people, and that list just keeps going on and on and on. And most recently it was even Elon Londis, who you profiled last week, that he got a job. He was talking about how he had jobs, but after talking to the folks at Workforce Solutions, he found a better job, because it wasn't just an ordinary job. He got a good paying job that was so he's able to help both his mom and his grandma. They're down in Galveston Island, and he has a job with prospects. So it's always about the people that we help. And I have to stop and give just a real quick shout out to the tons of people, and I know that I'm never going to hit them all, but Patrick, Kay, Nancy, Stacy, Arletha, Eddie, and just the list again goes on and on, because at Workforce Solutions, again, we are people helping people. We are all residents of the greater Houston area, so we're probably your neighbors. Some of us are hopefully your friends. And so everything that we do is about human to human. It's not about the machines. We use the tools, we use the job boards, but there's a big difference between Indeed and some of those other job boards. They're great for getting you the job leads, but we're going to be your people on the inside, because we are vested in your success. The only reason that we are here is to make sure that our economy prospers, to make sure that the employers have the workers that they need to keep their businesses successful, and to make sure that the people who are going to work have the best possible opportunity of having career success, and then again, contributing back into our communities. So again, the technology is great. We will never shy away from it. But at the end of the day, we really are about people helping people.
Well, thank you, Michelle, for all that, and thank you for the entire team over there. So we're going to take a break of the Who's Hiring job fairs. You can blame me, definitely not Workforce Solutions. So haven't quite said why. Plan to do so soon. So it's all for good. It's a good reason. And then we are discussing ways to come back bigger and better than ever in July. So we are looking at things. I know there's some high school graduations, so graduates might be interested in maybe learning more about different career paths and everything. So we're going to try to be more hyper-focused on that is one possible avenue that we're exploring. But we plan to come back. It's just we're going to take a little short break here. So this will be it for now. And Michelle, thank you all very much. I'm going to miss talking to you all. Stacy and Terry and the entire team over there. I'm going to miss them on the back end as well. Thursdays won't be the same. So it's going to be every Thursday. I'll think of you guys over the next couple of months. But I'm sure you have earned the break, right?
Absolutely. The crew has worked incredibly hard. Just like everybody else, they were challenged with the pandemic, caring for our families, caring kids at home, caring for our older parents. And they responded. They stepped up to the plate. But here's the beauty of all of this, and that is that the ABC 13 hotline, powered by Workforce Solutions, remains open. We will be able to respond to the ABC 13 viewers even while we're taking the break, because we want people to continue to build those careers. Everything is always about doing more, doing better. And so we're committed to doing that. We will still be right behind you, ready for when you do come back, and we resume whatever comes next. But again, that ABC 13 hotline will remain open. You can call us at 713-243-6663. Our team will be ready to respond. They can help you with whatever you need, again, anywhere along that career journey. And all of this because of the wonderful work that you and the station has done to help us let people know what is available.
Well, make sure that line is open, because in May we're going to run a story And it's going to feature the young man who I talked about earlier, Michelle, you're going to love this. He called our job fair an MVP program. So that's what he called it. So he spoke very highly of what Workforce Solutions did to help change his life. So he was very sentimental and grateful was the word that he used. So please call out when you see this or you see the story. That number will be open, 713-243-6663. So please call and tell them that Nick and the jobs lady sent you. All right, Michelle, thank you very much. Thank you to the team over there with Workforce Solutions. And we will see everyone in July. Not sure what it'll look like, but we will be back then. All right, Michelle, take care. Have a great weekend. Have a great couple of months. Bye, everyone.